Welcome back, everyone, to the TMI FYI podcast. I am Nat.
And I'm Claude.
And welcome in, guys.
We're back.
How's everybody
We're
doing?
Here another week.
Another week.
Back at it.
Another drink.
Another drink. Every time we say we're not gonna, and then we do, you know.
But, you know, guys, you'll be surprised to learn. We record this on a Thursday typically,
Usually,
which is basically the weekend. And
it's just the intro.
Exactly.
It's prep. That's prep work for the weekend.
That's how I see it.
I mean, we like to prep. We like to plan. We like to be prepared.
It loosens us up for
convo and anything that might
and the opinions that flow thereafter.
Thank you. And things might go and they might get derailed. They might, you never know.
But you're just here. You're along for the ride. And we brought our own bottles.
That we did because she brought one today and I had bought one the other day. Well, it's champagne is a little bit bitter sometimes for me, or like a little bit
it's
too
a lot
strong.
Drier than Prosecco, but that's what I like about it.
Yeah, and in this past weekend in Vegas, I had like two, mostly by myself because my husband can only drink, and I was not feeling well.
So Claudia,
did not get sick.
On that note, can you tell us what were you doing in Vegas?
What was I doing?
What do you guys think? Enter your thoughts. If you had to guess,
streets back.
This woman,
round 2,
is like almost solely supporting the comeback tour.
It is. It's really gross. I know, but it's so fun. It really is such a good time. And
she did bring back these.
I did. I mean, I was thinking of work. I had you in mind.
Thank you.
And they're so pretty. And see, they have a non-tippable. They just make it kind of like a cylinder.
Yes.
So, you can't tip them over. They think of everything.
They really do.
They really do.
All right.
So, cheers to the Millennium Tour.
Cheers to the Millennium.
Which now they will be back for 6 more dates in July.
And guess who will be there?
Guess who will be there?
This girl is insatiable.
It is. It's so fun. If you get a chance to go.
I will try to make it this summer. We'll see. Do you have a bun twist to get us going?
I thought I did, and then I heard you say earlier, oh my God, you had 2. And I'm like, shit, what was my one? And now I don't remember what it was.
I don't know which one I want to start with.
Start with one, because maybe it'll give me time. As usual, I never come prepared with my bun twist, but it may come to me, or I may just piggyback on yours.
All right. I'm gonna use the one that was inspired when I came in the door. Yes, when I came in the door, and I was talking to Emily, who is our editor and Claudia's daughter, and she was showing off some merch that she got from a new bagel place that just opened up. It's called H&H Bagels, that came from New York and is now here in South Florida. And she was remarking that there was a line forming just to enter this bagel establishment at like 7 a.m. or something. And that would immediately make me not want to go. I don't want to stand in line for something. And I feel like maybe it's because of social media and the way just marketing happens today, but everything has a freaking line. And
Does it?
So many things, like all the viral food items. So if you go to New York and it's like, you have to go to Corner Store, or you have to try this pizza. Or
there's a pizza place in New York when we went, and the line was Joe's. Is it?
There's Joe's, but now we have one here.
Okay, well, and it was like around the corner. We're like looking at it, going, it's a freaking. I get it. I'm sure it's great, but
you know what I find?
I mean,
a lot of
great pizza to you might not be great pizza.
That's true. It is subjective.
I like floppy. You see, I like when it's like dangly, like I do. But then I also like square cut, thin and crispy, full of veggies. I mean, I like different ones, but like
veggies.
Yeah, but thick crust. I'd rather a thin crust. I don't know.
Definitely. But anyway,
lines.
So there's a pizza place here in Miami. It's called what's it
Harry's?
called? No, Mark's Pizza. It's like in Normandy area, like kind of North Beachy area, and this place, is super viral. Everyone talks about it. And so my husband and I were like, let's go get it. We're so stupid. We just showed up at 6 o'clock thinking it's early. We'll definitely get a table. So the ladies, we get there and we didn't see a line. So we're like, lucky us, we get in. And she's like, so there's a whole bunch of people waiting before you. We only serve pizza until it runs out. So there's no guarantee that you're going to get called. So we waited for like an hour.
See, right there.
We're stupid. So we waited for like an hour.
We have nothing to do.
We didn't that day. But then we finally went up to her. We're like, lady, what are the chances that we're going to get called? And she's like, none.
Oh, good.
So I'm like, okay, so we left.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, thank you. So we left. And then the next time we went, I got
So you
there.
went back.
I went
Okay.
back, but with a strategy. So they open.
Strategy.
They open at 5, I think. We got there at 4. And I was the first person there, but only by like 3 minutes. Someone was right behind me.
So you started the line. You didn't
s-
get in the line, but you started the line.
I started the line. I waited out there for 1
Okay.
hour for them to open.
Oh, wow.
And now, was the pizza delicious? It was delicious. I think it's probably the best
Worth
pizza I've
the
had.
wait in the line?
I might
Would
do
you
it
wait
again.
in line again?
Maybe. If
Okay.
if I was guaranteed the pizza.
Okay.
Because you can kind of, like, once you, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
It's fine.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Why do we have to do this to just get some food?
Yeah, I don't know. We waited in a line at the Backstreet Boys experience.
But that's
And
a concert.
No.
No?
The experience.
What the hell is
Is
that?
the store that they have in the Venetian Hotel, and it's the experience. They have 3 floors inside like one of these pop-up spaces type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they have it all set up like an airplane terminal.
Okay.
And it's 3 floors, and one is like the shell of an airplane. You can go take pictures in the shell of an airplane, and then they have like all the album covers and cutouts and a bar and the merch store and, you know, a big giant TV screen with the videos playing, and then they have the VIP experience, which I did not buy, believe it or not, so I don't
Oh.
even know what's in there.
You have some restraint.
A little bit, maybe the third time. So you kind of go in there to buy merch and do it. And
Sure.
then, like, I still have my BSB Forever bracelet from the first time I went.
Cool.
You know, they have a bunch of different things in there. But the line this time, and I kept telling my husband, we need to get there because I went to go buy a gift for a friend of mine. He's like, can you buy something for my wife? I said, sure. So I kept telling him, we need to get there early because there's going to be a line. Take my word for it. It's not going to be a line. I'm like, okay. And then I was laughing on the way there. He was, why are you laughing? I go, because I know that there's going to be a line. And I can just picture us walking up and you're going to go, what the fuck is this? And I'm going to go, it's the line.
It's the line.
I'm telling you. What do you think happened? We walked up and he goes, there's no way. I go, oh, wait.
Oh, God.
You watch. And it went around the thing, down the hall, and we got in that line. I said, we're here and we're going to be in the, because had we come earlier,
Yeah.
there'd be no line. But 20 minutes we were inside.
That's
to
not
go
so
like
bad.
walk around, get a drink and buy merch.
That's crazy. Like the way that people they're like animals, and there's, I can't. I'm
The
done.
waiting overnight thing, like sleeping outside to get tickets for
Oh.
something, Like
There
no.
is, can I tell you, there is so you know and this kind of ties into our topic today because it is about parenting in a way, but getting your kids into a summer camp is like Hunger Games right now.
Yeah.
It is so hard. You
I
have
can
to
give you some recommendations.
Well, but there's first of all really hard to get into, and they're very, very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So there is one in my neighborhood that is very reasonably priced. So
I remember
everybody
last year we were going through this. Like you did sort of some summer camp, but they were home most of the time.
Oh, well, they went to the one at their school,
Right.
but there's one in my neighborhood, like
Okay.
in the rec center, in the community center, and it's very, very reasonably priced, especially if you're a resident.
Okay.
So the way that people like go at it to get a spot, they literally sleep there overnight so they could be people have inflatable mattresses that they put out so that they can.
Damn, how do you compete with that?
Yeah, I don't. I'm like, no, my kids won't go
Like
there.
you're going to be home. Sorry.
Yeah,
Hope
you'll stay
like your
home.
iPad.
Exactly.
You have a dog this summer, so. Oh, you
but
had him last summer.
It's wild.
Have you had Teddy since last summer already?
Yes, we got him in May.
Oh, Teddy.
Aw,
I know.
Ted.
She got him a bark collar, and it's doing great. And she might love her dog soon. So
We'll see.
stay
Love,
tuned, folks.
love is a strong word,
Well,
but
give it time. You'll see.
Okay. Well, this leads us into our conversation, which is all about parenting styles. Now, we have touched on some of this before, but we wanted to kind of do a little bit of a deep dive into the different types of parenting that exist. We want to give our judgment on them.
Oh,
and
yeah. I mean, shoot us birds virtually, whatever.
Yeah.
Agree with us. A lot of people agreed with our last topic, our last podcast on when we talked about parenting. We had a lot of good people backing us up
Yeah.
with rules are rules.
Yes.
And we're still, you and I, even though I'm still a generation above, older, we're still in the
Correct.
old school kind of, the whole digital age and the softer parenting and the understanding parenting is kind of something we're kind of like,
I probably
mean,
dip my toe a little more than you.
Yeah, probably.
But I
Oh,
still.
no, I'm a softie to some things. For
Well-
some things, I'm just a little bit more, I guess, what's the word? I don't want to say liberal because that's not what I mean. It's more open-minded. Like, I don't...
Flexible?
I'm very big on being open with my kid. Not with, giving too much information, not, but I've always been of the thought of, if your child is asking you something, if they're asking you a question, whether they heard about it or whatever, answer them. Even if it's with a basic...
an age-appropriate answer.
Age-appropriate answer, just enough to quell their curiosity.
Sure.
Because especially now, there's the internet, they have access, and you don't know what information they're going to be getting. So if they're coming to you, my thought was always, I want her to trust that I'm going to answer her question. Even if it's a cringy question, or like, oh, fuck, how do I answer this now? You're 7 years old, you're 8. You have to be prepared for that, because I always thought, I want my kid to come to me no matter what.
Yeah.
Or a good friend that they feel comfortable. I want to know where they're getting their information.
So let me ask you something. So I thought maybe we'd start with, I feel like, and I like that philosophy. I think that works well, and it's like
it's great for us. And she's 24, and to this day, and
that's great, right? That's what you want.
Yeah.
But I'm curious if how you ended up parenting her was different from how you thought you would be as a parent. Because I think when we go into parenthood, or before we go into parenthood, we have these ideas of what kind of parent we're going to be, and then you actually become a parent, reality hits you in the ass, and you become something maybe different. So are you the type of parent you thought you were going to be?
I'm exactly.
Yeah? Cool.
I'm exactly how I wanted to be with her. Yeah. I didn't ever, and I think I've mentioned this before, I didn't have, like, I don't want to say dreams or visions or whatever, like, of what I was, what my life would be. I didn't dream of being this or that, and I guess that's weird. I mean, I at some point said, oh, this would be cool to study this or this, but it wasn't like I ever said, oh, I hope to be married and have 5 kids, and yes, I wanted to be married at some point, and if I have kids, great, it wasn't like a goal.
Sure.
And then when I did have, and I first started, with my stepdaughter, which was great. So that kind of warmed me up to the process, but I had lots of nieces and nephews, and so it wasn't strange to me. But once I had my daughter, I had always said, I want to be present. I don't want to miss a lot of her activities or whatever she's involved in. I want to be that. I want to be the home that the kids come to. I want to be, that's the only struggle. There was a fine line between being their friend, quote unquote, and being their parent. And you always have to say, you have to be careful, because you become their friend, and then the boundaries get
goes
blurred.
Out the window.
Yeah, but she was never a disrespectful kid. She was never, and I always kind of kept it. There was only, she went her teenage years, maybe 2 or 3 times where she got a little bit of an attitude, and I'm like, listen, by the way, you need to check it, because I'm not one of your friends. And she was like, I'm sorry, Mom, I'm sorry. I can tell you honestly, she's never crossed the line. I'm lucky. That is good, and whatever, but to this day, and now I've learned that she's getting older, and she's in a relationship, and she's moving out next month. But I'm thrilled.
Yes, this is a good thing.
It's wonderful, and I'm excited for her.
This is what you're training her for, to go off on her own.
And I've learned at different times that you have to kind of, at least in our situation, I need to just let her know I'm here, and not always offer an opinion, not always give my thought or my input. If she wants it, she'll come to me. What do you think about this? Because when you do it, sometimes they roll their eyes. They don't want to hear it.
They didn't ask.
Right. So you have to kind of, at some point as their parent, you have all these things you want to say, give advice, whatever, because you've been through it. But, when you were going through it, if people gave you advice, you're like, leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
Like, I want to learn it on my own.
And what do you know anyway?
So I'm kind of...
I'm different.
Yeah, I'm different. That was your experience.
Things are different now.
Right.
And
that
it's
was
all
always
the same,
my
actually.
thing when I was younger. It's like, that was your experience. Mine's different. And it's like, oh, shut up.
Yeah.
It is different.
I mean, sort of.
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of things are always standard.
I mean, there's like the basic common human experience that we all have.
But I've learned that I just kind of, now I kind of step back and I'm say, well, if you want to talk, and
that's nice to be like an open door, but you're not trying to like,
right? But I'm not like sitting on your couch going, okay, well, this is what I got to say.
Wow.
How about you? Are you the parent you thought you'd be, or is parenting what you thought? Like when you were, because people always have opinions, oh my God, and you're never going to sleep again, and kids are hard, and boys are harder, and you get all the...
Yes. All
things.
of that. It was definitely, and we've talked about this in previous episodes. Go back and listen to them. The ones on baby and bringing home baby. And
are you a strict parent, as strict as you thought you'd be, or like
you know what has surprised me? I think I'm more or less the parent I thought I was going to be. I always felt that I was very independent, and I did not want to lose that. And that was one of the things that I was really worried about when I got pregnant, was like, oh shit, like I really like my life. I like my freedom. I don't know how I'm going to feel like being tethered to this responsibility. And I have found
that's such a normal, it is.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it happens after birth. Like after you have the child,
Well,
and
I
you're like,
definitely
oh,
felt that too, because then
I felt that after.
the responsibility felt even more enormous than I had anticipated. And so I was like, oh wow, this is really bad. Like this is no bueno, no me gusta.
Yeah. Send it back.
What did I do? But I think I'm the kind of parent that kind of falls like in the middle in terms of, we're going to talk about all these different styles of parenting, but from like really strict to really lenient, I feel like I'm somewhere in the middle. But what has surprised me, I'm a lot more like, I just said this the other day, I was like, wow, I have a lot more like Cuban grandmother in me than I realized, because Oliver, so my oldest, he's 10 years old. He's kind of at the age where you have to give him some independence. Like he should be allowed to kind of go around the neighborhood a little bit, be with friends, like not doing anything crazy, but he needs a little bit of independence. And so we started with, a couple weeks ago, we said, okay, walk the dog to the corner. He has this like favorite poop corner. So we're like, take him to the corner where he likes to poop. Walk there, take him by yourself, and it's a big block, so it's not like right there. It takes him a minute. So
and you're on a main street, like the front of your house is a main.
That one, yes, but he walks the other way, so not on a main street. But so he did it, and the whole time I was like, why is it taking him so long? He should be back by now. It got so bad, my anxiety, that I actually went outside to go see if I could see him in the corner.
Of
and
course,
he was coming back. A couple weeks later, my husband was like, he needs to be able to walk him around the block. Now it's a big block. It probably takes like 15 minutes to do the whole block. And I was like, okay, like sure. But the whole time I was anxious. I was panicked. I was like, he's going to get kidnapped. Like, he's going to
white van.
He's going to
get white van.
Yeah, the man's going to offer him the candy. He's going to take it.
He'll do anything for the white van with no windows.
I know.
Like, run.
And like he'll do anything for a Sour Patch. Yeah. He's going to get abducted. And
everybody knows that.
Everybody knows that. And he's going to get hit by a car. And I mean,
the dog's going to get loose. He's going to fight with another dog. All that.
I had so many thoughts, and I was so anxious, and I didn't want to let him go. And I was like, wait a minute. This sounds just like my grandma, who didn't want to let me do anything, and I wasn't allowed to do anything, and I didn't expect that I would be that.
What it is worry as a parent. You don't have that instinctual emotion. You don't have that fear and the safety thing until you have a child. You know, and people that haven't had children, you hear this and you roll your eyes and like, oh yeah, I know. I'll know when I have a child.
Well,
there's nothing there's a reason why it's said. There's nothing else in your life. Listen, I remember when I married my husband, you know, and I instantly had, you know, a stepdaughter.
Yeah.
But I had my dogs. I had my hot dog and whatever, and I was obsessed with I became, you know, it was my first time I really fell in love with dogs and whatever, and we would travel and I would call the vet where they were boarding. I'm like, how are they? And he's like, oh my goodness, when you have a child. And I'm like, but you don't understand. So I still have that love for my dog. But then when I had a child,
you realize it.
I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And it's not instant, because we've talked about that too. Yeah. It took me a minute. I still loved her. But that instinct, that visceral, it's just something that happens. And there's nothing else in your life that brings that out of you. And nothing.
I know.
Nothing. So that's what it is. Your grandmother is just being a grandmother, and now you're saying, oh, this is my child.
Know, my precious little boo-boo.
It's so difficult. And,
it is.
And like I've always told my daughter, I go, parenting doesn't come with a handbook, man. That like you don't know a lot of things you have to navigate, and some things are difficult. And when they say this is going to hurt me more than it hurts you, it really does.
I know.
There's some things that it kills you to deny them or punish or, you know, and horrible things, and you just going, this is what's best for them, but it kills you to do that.
I know.
And it's There's so many things that come with it.
I know.
So many wonderful outweigh
things. And you know what? I loved my Cuban grandma, so it's fine. I mean, it just is what it is. All right, so let's talk about...
So did he walk the dog all the way around?
He did.
Okay.
And you know what? He's done it. He's done it a few times. He did like it. I think he enjoys a little bit of independence. And the last time he did it, he found $100 bill on the sidewalk. And that kid was never happier because I've never met someone who loves...
walk their dog for hours.
I've never met someone who loves money more than that kid. Like, he is very motivated by money.
Good. We love that.
I'm trying to work on it. But anyway, he did great, and we're all doing better.
One of those savings boxes. I'll show you what it is later.
He has a shit ton of money. He is...
He's loaded.
He's loaded.
He's your ATM if you need it.
For a child.
Pizza's here.
Okay.
Hey, Oliver.
Confession. Juan, my husband, keeps his money because he's a space cadet. So he will lose it if we let him have it. He's lost his wallet multiple times. We always find it in random places. He can't keep it.
Of course. Well.
But he's like a super space cadet, okay? Lovely child. I love him so much. But that's part of his charm, actually.
Okay, right.
But there have been times when we're like, oh, we need to tip fulanito, or we gotta...
You go in the Oliver jar.
Or we'll be
the O jar.
It's ice cream day at school. We don't have any take it out of his wallet. We have
Do you put it back?
Well, we have...
Oh, damn, Oliver, don't listen. Pobrecito.
Okay,
he's $1,000 down.
Most of the time, yes, we replace it, but we definitely owe him money. I don't know how much, and he... Again,
doesn't know.
Space cadet doesn't even know what his total was.
See, that should break your heart even more. You criminal, you savage human being, evil mother.
It's not okay.
You need to just next time you have a little hundy in your pocket, just put it in.
I'm not proud of it.
We've done it too.
But sometimes he's got cash. I don't.
Done it too. I'll ask her. Hey, we need a tip, and I always try to remember to give it back.
Okay, but how much have I spent on him?
Okay, but that's your obligation. It's not his.
It's not my obligation.
It is.
Okay, whatever.
It is.
Anyway,
parenting.
All right, so parenting styles. All right, let's talk about a few different styles and what we think of them. That's what we think of you if you engage in any of these.
This is you.
If this is you, stop. Now this might sound a little bit judgy. We're just going to give our opinions on some of this and what we've observed in this type of parenting.
Different. Yeah, right.
So helicopters. We're going to go on different ends of this part. So we have the helicopter parent.
Helicopter. And I'm like,
So the helicopter parent, raise your hand if this is you.
I had a friend.
You are over involved. You are just hovering over your kid all the time. You just are always intervening in their shit. You really feel the need to control the situation.
Stop. What is it in you that you're missing that you need to take that out on your poor child? Stop it.
Yeah.
Let your child be a child. You can't control, and the more you try to control, the more they're going to try to break away from it the minute they get a chance to. You're really causing more harm. Be vigilant, be involved, whatever, but take a freaking step back and stop suffocating your kid. Let them be a kid.
They don't want to hang out with you that much.
Let them get dirty. Let them make friends. Let them fuck up. Let them be human.
Let them.
Stop it. Let them. My favorite. I love you, Mel Robbins. Let them be a kid again.
I know.
Be involved, but what are you trying to prove?
I also think that because I truly believe this is deeply rooted in anxiety, because people are, I don't think people do it to be a bad person. I think they're just scared.
No, I don't think they set out to that. But you need to recognize also when you're just, it's too much.
Yeah, and I think what they are is just anxious, and this is how they try to control situations.
Chew a pencil.
But, okay.
Chew your nails. Take your anxiety out somewhere else, but stop.
What I think it does is it transfers that anxiety to the child,
yes,
who's then going to grow up.
And then they feel insecure, inadequate, whatever, that they need. They're not sure of their decisions. They're not sure of their choices, what they're doing. Give them tools.
Right.
But you don't have to be sitting there wiping their nose doing their projects. Don't get me started on doing their projects. My God.
Okay.
You did them too?
Well, my mom did all my projects.
Oh. Mm-mm.
To be fair, a lot of them involve artistic expression.
Yeah.
I am very bad at it. My mom is excellent.
Yes.
She enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So
but it's not her project.
She did. That is true. And now my kids... My kids, I help them. I'm definitely less hands-on because I'm literally so bad at it. They'd get a bad grade.
My daughter didn't want me involved. I would tell her, you have a project. I got it, Mom. I'm like, okay, cool, great. Well, tell me what you need. I'll go buy you whatever you want. We'll go to Michael's. And she really was very independent. She's like, I'll do it. And I'm like, good.
I don't think helping on a project or doing a project is helicopter
No,
parenting.
that's not helicopter. Helping is fine. I remember my mom once, I had to do we had to create an alien. I think it was. I don't remember. I think it was like 6th grade. We had to create an alien using a beach ball and whatever. And my mom kind of like helped me get the stuff, and she would like give me advice. Oh, that would look cute here, there, but she didn't do it.
But even if you do it, I don't think that's helicopter parenting.
But why do it?
Because
what are
maybe you enjoy
teaching
it.
your kid. You want to be helicopter parenting, you should be teaching them something. Doing their project for them just means, hey, Mom, I have a project due tomorrow.
I don't know. I'm just
It's
trying to
due tomorrow, and what are we going to do? We're going to run out and buy everything and do it.
Well,
because they know you're going to.
I am just trying to justify my life experiences. That's all.
You can justify. I'm sure. But I'm telling you, I don't remember. I know with my stepdaughter, with Michi, there were times where she would tell us about a project like the night before.
Oh, that happens a lot.
And we would have to run out. We're like, why? You know, and losing our shit and like, why? And you bitch and complain. And then you do it because you don't want them to fail.
You don't want them to get a bad
Right.
grade. Now, similar to helicopter parenting, but not quite the same, is attachment parenting. And that's the type of parenting where like you co-sleep with them, you baby carry them when they're little, you like breastfeed for a really long time. You are basically like attached to your child. And the idea behind it is that this sort of connection creates like a really strong parent-child bond.
Right.
And is
big red X. But that's just me.
And you know what I think is really interesting about this parenting style, because I do know people who have done this.
Yeah.
And they seem to like genuinely just want to be with their kids all the time. And I cannot relate.
Bless you. I love my child too. And I love
me too.
being with her. And I love.
But I can't relate.
But I can't relate to that. I mean, not especially like all those things. And I've heard of, people that don't even go out with their spouse, or they don't go anywhere without their kids. It's like, oh, the kids need some independence also. They need to be able to detach from you. They need to understand that they're their own.
Well, that's how I have seen it. I mean, so as I said, I'm a very independent person, and so I never wanted to give up traveling by myself, going out to dinners and parties and whatever I have going on, right? I've never wanted to be the type of person that would give that up for kids. But, I'm not immune to like the guilt that is associated with leaving your kids behind.
And I think a side note on that is, if you have someone you trust, you have your parents, you have your husband's parents. Like we didn't
helps.
really, because we really didn't. When she was about a year and a half or 2, we hired like an quote unquote nanny, like Thursday to Sunday. She was kind of a housekeeper. Mm-hmm. I had never experienced that. I'd never had anyone living in my house, and I fought my husband. I'm like, I don't want someone in my house. Like on the weekend, that's a foreign concept to me. But apparently, it's not so foreign. In other.
Well, like an au pair lives with you.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, that's creepy. Like, but it ended up being wonderful. And there are the dogs, and there's the doorbell. Ended up being great because she was Thursday to Sunday. But yeah, being able to go out and leave your child in the care of somebody, if you don't have someone you trust as a babysitter or grandma, Well,
that's wonderful. But I do think like in attachment parenting, I don't think you would even do that. I mean, or you would unless you have to. But what I realized that kind of helped me with the guilt a little bit when I would leave, especially when my kids were really little, and I would leave them to like my first son. I remember the first time I left him, he was 9 months old, and I left for 2 weeks to Europe, which was bonkers.
Emmy was 3 months.
That was bonkers.
Right after 9/11. She was born 3 weeks after 9/11 or before 9/11. And we went to Vegas in November. She was born August. And I was like, we're going to die. She's never going to know me. Like, you
have those normal thoughts, yes.
And we're both leaving. It was not like one parent was staying, and we left her with a friend. My friend came to babysit them because whatever. And it's hard. It's hard as much as you want to do that.
But what I told myself and kind of how I got through it, because I was upset. I remember crying on the way to the airport and being like, am I doing the right thing? Yeah. And I've left them multiple times since to take solo trips. But the thing is, to your point about you're teaching them how to detach from you, like I think the way I view my job as a parent is to prepare these kids for life independent of me. I am teaching them how to live in a world on their own where they don't need me. I hope they want me, but I want them to be
That's your job
prepared
as a
to
parent.
live a
You
life
bring them here and you need to prepare them
for a life that doesn't include me necessarily.
Yes, because I will be gone at some point.
So, yeah. So I was thinking about that in terms of like, when you leave your kids behind, yes, it's difficult for you, for them, but that teaches them like how to adapt, how to create connections with other people, healthy attachments to others. I mean, there's so much.
Which is why I'm also pro like early preschool daycare. Like I put
those
me in
things
at
are all
16
important.
months. You know,
like
and
they need to form their own connections, and they need to. I also thought about it, leaving them to the point of like I am very fortunate that I can leave them with my parents and in-laws. It's like that creates memories and bonds with their grandparents. That's a value of mine. Like that's really important. And it's not the same when I'm there.
Yeah.
So for them to have those shared experiences where my parents, they take them for the weekend and they have their
own special
they
time
have their
with
own
them.
tradition. I was just talking to my son today, and he was saying he wanted to go to my mom's house. And I'm like, why do you like going there so much? And he was like, oh, because she makes the best grilled cheese. And then she takes us to Cracker Barrel for dinner. And we have these pancakes for breakfast. And they have these traditions that is so beautiful for him.
Yeah.
I want him to have that.
Yeah.
So if you're attached to your child, I love that for you. But maybe every now and then. Plus, I also think
as a couple. Thank you. I was going to say
that
I remember when we were pregnant or whatever, and I remember.
No, we were not pregnant. You were pregnant.
I know.
Okay, I hate that.
I know.
Bun
Sorry.
twist.
But you know what I mean. It was me pregnant. But
yeah, fuck yeah. Own it.
Big old belly.
Hell yeah.
50 pounds.
Hell yeah.
And I remember saying, you read all the things and you have to stay a couple, whatever. And of course, you go through the newborn phase and whatever, and you're like, oh, adjusting, and then you fall in love with your kid, and blah, 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 blah. But that's why we went to Vegas. I mean, it was 3 months later. It wasn't, maybe we could have waited a little longer, but the opportunity presented itself and we were going with another couple or whatever.
Quick to revive the romance.
But, as time goes on, that time in life and that time in your marriage and your relationship is difficult. The transition to the first baby and how much time and how it divides your time as a couple, how the stress comes in, how, usually a lot of husbands feel left out. It's all about the baby. And then you go out to dinner and you're talking about the baby. And you have to try and kind of, if you're not a unit as a couple, you're not going to be good parents to your kid.
Yeah. Well,
you were a couple before this child came along. You need to keep working on being a couple so that you'll be there as your child grows. Well, because then if you grow apart and you let this new change and this new dynamic of your relationship take over and it's all about the baby, where's the relationship?
Yeah, and you can lose it really easily. That connection gets lost. And by the way, there's so much to fight about when you're a parent. Like there's so much to get annoyed by, for resentment to build.
And it exacerbates.
Yes.
And, it's exponential. I'm creating all kinds of words.
You.
I know, I'm like thesaurus.
Letter of the day.
E is the letter of the day. I'm going to win. Did you see my shirt? I'm going to win.
It's the letter of the day.
Letter of the day, right? E. Let's think of words with E. That time is critical. And if you get past it if you work on it together and you both kind of look at each other and go, wow, this is fucking rough. Everybody tells you this is a rough patch. Listen, your wives are not going to want to be intimate. Yes, their focus is going to be the baby. Just hang tight. Help her out. You're a unit.
And I think
you'll be back to a unit. It's an adjustment.
And I think you need those times alone to come back to each other and repair a lot of the damage that gets done in day to day, because there just is. You're annoyed, you're tired, you're short with each other, you're angry about whatever.
It's a whole new responsibility. It's a whole bunch of
you need to come back to each other in a fun way, in a way that allows you to repair some of that so that it doesn't continue to build and fester. So
and go recognize, you know what? I'm not angry. I miss you. I miss what we had.
That's really what it is.
When it was just, not that I don't want my child, but it was so simple when it was just us and we could do whatever. Now it's not so simple, and it's not so simple for either of us, but I still choose you and I still want to be, so just take, even if it's 10 minutes, man, just go for a walk around the block without the baby.
You just need to be without.
Yeah, and have somebody watching.
Have somebody
watch your kid alone.
No, we're not recommending
But just
that.
have a little bit of just.
But that, and also, even for your friendships, I feel like, when your kids are around, you just can't engage in the same way as you can when they're not there. They distract you. They need things. They're going to jump in the pool. They're going to choke on something. They want attention.
You're talking and they just want to be in your face, and that's annoying for everybody, even you.
Yeah, so you can't have like a conversation with a friend. You can't not really, right? Because your attention is divided. So I'm not saying don't be an attached parent. Do whatever the fuck you want. But I'm just saying some of us,
everything has its drawbacks.
There are some things to consider.
You could be doing more harm than good if you're that attached.
Yeah,
you're
and I think it's
harming your relationship, maybe your marriage, or their ability to not be
or
attached
even for
to
yourself. There's burnout in that, man.
Yeah.
I mean, parenting is hard. It is emotional and
24
physical,
hours.
and there's so
Never
much.
turns off.
It never ever turns off. If you never get away from it, I find it hard to think that I could be as good a parent if I didn't have those moments of disconnection.
Yeah.
Because I always come back more refreshed and more excited to see them.
I don't love my child.
Oh, no,
It doesn't
no.
mean I don't want to be a parent. It means I count too.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't be my best parent self if I'm not my best. I need to just remember that I'm an individual before
Right.
I'm a mom.
Put the mask on first, guys. Okay. Gentle parenting.
I mean, well, I don't know.
Okay,
I'm
so
kind of.
here's what I think
I'm a
about.
sucker for some things. I'm not a harsh. I don't know.
Here's what I
Talk
think
to me.
about gentle
Talk
parenting.
to me about gentle parenting.
Here's what I think.
What are we talking about?
I think that gentle parenting is this idea of having a very empathy focused.
I understand how you're feeling.
Yes, but I think some of the misconceptions around it are that you don't have any boundaries and you would just let them do whatever they want. And I don't think that's what gentle parenting is truly. I think it is about just being very explanatory about why you're doing certain things.
Okay.
It's about listening to their point of view and validating their feelings, but still maintaining a boundary when you need to.
Okay.
Which in theory all sounds great. But
sounds like a lot of work.
But it is a lot more work. And I think that's why a lot of people probably don't do it. But I also think a lot of people don't know how to do it. And so you end up with a brat monster beast. And then I also think that sometimes this gentle parenting thing makes you it assumes you're dealing with a rational actor, and you are not.
They're
children.
Hello.
So I'm all for let's not go straight to anger and punishment and that sort of old school.
Yeah.
Just
I don't
listen
love
to me because
that.
I said so.
Yeah, I'm not.
Sometimes
I am an explainer.
Sometimes, though, but I'm going to explain it
But
one
I
time.
can understand, right? Say you have to understand. You might not get it, but this is why. And there are dangers or there are whatevers that you don't understand. That's why I'm your parent. And I hate that you have to miss this, or I hate that you have to do this, but it's really for your own good. And you can't fucking do this again.
But that's fine for a person that you can have a conversation with once they reach an age where you can actually have a back and forth. I do not get this style of parenting. And listen, if you've done it and successfully, I'm always happy.
I'd love to hear how you do that. What age are we talking about? 3-year-olds
this is
that
what I'm
don't
saying.
understand?
Like if you're talking to a 3-year-old and there's
100
also
words?
There's also a lot of give the kids choices. What would you like for dinner? Chicken or steak? Get out of my face. This is what's for dinner today. You don't like it? It's not a restaurant.
It's not Uber Eats.
This is not a restaurant.
No.
And I tell my kids this all the time. There's no menu. This is what it is. I don't like the idea of what do you want to wear today, sweetie? Do you want to wear sometimes, but if I got to get out the door, guess what? This is what you're wearing, and I don't want to hear it.
I had a little struggle with that. There was a time. I don't know if anybody out there has. My daughter she was a bit of a tomboy as a child. Which I loved because she loved to be outside and she wanted to play in the street and she loved to ride her bike and she loved, she wasn't much of a frilly, lacy dress. There were times once we dressed her and whatever, she thought it was pretty, but it wasn't. I hated the little fold down socks with the little lace trim. And I never bought those. I was always like, no.
I loved those.
I don't know.
So cute.
So the thing is that she loved to wear, when it was time to go to a nicer event, she wanted to wear the leggings with the rip hole and the stained t-shirt. And then when she wanted to go play outside, she wanted to wear the nicer thing. I said, you know what? No. Okay, so then what we started doing is that here's your two choices. I would lay out two choices.
Okay.
And say you can either one of those two you can pick, but pick one, and that's what you're wearing. Because I put it together, so I would put one more like casual and one that was a little dress. But I'm like, you can't wear. You're going to a nice something.
I hear you.
You can't do that.
Okay, so I often say too that gentle parenting works for gentle children, because like my kid, if
has a mind of their own,
I can give him, my little one, I can give him two choices, and he'll be like, fuck you, I don't want either of these, and I'm going to do what I want. And so often I find myself being like, I'm not even going to,
you're like, whatever, I need to get out of here.
Often, yes, I'll just be like, do whatever, if it doesn't really matter. But sometimes it's like, no, kid, we're going to a wedding and this is what you're going to wear. Yeah. And I'm not going to sit here and like, oh, but he wants to express himself with
express himself tomorrow.
Right.
Today you don't get to express yourself. Today I get to express myself.
Exactly.
How about that? I'm the grown up. I'm bigger than you.
I feel like there are pockets of experiences and times when I do this and I'm happy to talk about their feelings. I'm like, buddy, I know you're upset. I get it. And then there's other times that I'm like, fuck off. Like, this is what we're going to do.
All the way off.
All the way off. Here's what we're going to do. I don't want to hear it. This is not a negotiation.
I don't want to make you wear it either. But that's what you have to do because that's where we're going.
I don't want to wear the strapless bra, but here I am.
And I'm going to have to pull it up all night long.
And here's the thing that I worry about with some of the more like lax parenting, which sometimes I engage in, but like the world does not always conform to you. And I don't like the idea of building a child that is not sometimes a little bit uncomfortable and sometimes pissed off with the outcome. Yeah. And I think there are lessons they can learn in like not being super
Life
comfortable.
Life is not always rainbows and butterflies.
But it's not.
It's not always going to work out in your favor. There's going to be times you're disappointed. You're not going to win the thing. You're not going to get the award. You're not going to get picked for whatever. You're not, that's just life. Okay. You have to be able to deal with the shitty parts as well as, So yes.
All right. So let's talk about some parenting myths that we don't like. And here's one that really grinds my gears. Really gets me going.
Twist your bun.
It twists my bun all the way. So, and again, a lot of this is just me validating my own choices.
That's okay. Yeah, we're just here letting you know that we're people too.
I'm self-aware. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Cry it out. So there is a whole school of thought that is, well, cry it out is abusive to your child and that it hurts the child. Now, when I was sleep training my child, let me
I don't know
say
how
this.
you do it. Kudos to you if you really did it. Because that's awful.
Going back to, I'm a very independent person. I'm also a very sleepy person. I love to sleep. For me, the hardest part, the only reason that I don't like the newborn stage is because the lack of sleep. It's very important to me. So I knew early on I was going to sleep train my kid. There was not a question about it. I was not going to be one of those like, we'll just wait and see what happens. No, like I'm putting this kid on a fucking schedule. Damn. So the pediatrician that we had at the time was hardcore. Okay. And at our 2-month visit, he was like 8 weeks. She was like, okay, you can start. And I'm like, really? He seems really young. And she was
still developing.
And she said, well, we don't really do it by, it's not really dependent on their age. It's more about their weight. So how long can they be without food, basically, is really what the concern is. That's why they wake up, because you need to get them to a certain weight. Once he hits a certain weight, he's fine to be the night without feeding. And he was a bigger kid, so he was fine, right? So she's like, you can do it. And she was like, okay, what you're going to do is you're going to put him on his crib.
I'm already getting stressed.
She's like, you're going to put him in the crib. You're going to close the door.
Oh, no.
And you're not going to come back until 8 in the morning or whatever time you want the wake up time to be, right?
Not even going to happen.
Which is like a 12-hour stretch.
No.
Okay.
I'm going to have a hard time.
This was super hardcore. Now, who wanted to sleep train was like,
whatever.
No. I was like, I don't know. He seems really young, and like that seems like a lot.
Harsh. Yeah.
Juan, who hadn't slept in all this time and was working, he had gone back to work, so he was like really sleep deprived. He's like, great, done, we're on it. So that night we did it, and I remember he cried for probably like 2.5 hours. And
you weren't desperate?
So I was ready to get up. I was staring at the baby monitor. I was crying. He was literally holding me and being like, he's fine. The doctor told, he's fine.
Oh, God.
He doesn't need the food. Like, he'll get used to it. And I was crying in the monitor, and I hated my husband so much in this moment. Now, mind you, I could have done whatever I wanted.
Yeah,
I could have
of course.
gotten up and done it.
So
So
you're trying to be strong. You're trying to stick to it, right?
Some part of me wanted it too, but it was very difficult for
No,
me.
yeah, I couldn't.
Now, what I will say is this. The doctor had said the first day is going to be the worst. The second day is going to be a little bit better. The third day is going to be fine. In a week, your kid will be sleep trained. And God damn it if that doctor wasn't right. And that kid is the best sleeper on planet Earth. In 1 week, he had fully sleeping overnight, like 12 hours, 8 to 8. He did not need any routine. All you had to do was like, you gave him a bottle, you gave him a kiss, you gave him a little pat on the butt, you walked out, he put himself to sleep. If he woke up in the middle of the night, he would put himself back to sleep. You could put him to sleep in anybody's house, anybody's anything, he could self-regulate back to sleep.
Wow.
Now, it was a painful process, but he's a great sleeper. Even to this day, he's wonderful. So when people say things like, it's so damaging to your child, I'm like, no, I think it's damaging to you.
Yeah.
And it is. And
Yeah.
I agree.
Your child doesn't recognize it.
Your
They're just being
child's-
told whatever you're telling them.
Your child
Yeah.
is in distress. I'm not going to.
Yeah, no, they cry.
For a short period of time that they're never
And
going
they're
to
not being
remember.
tortured. I mean, they're crying because they're used to crying. They get food.
Yeah.
They're crying. They get
Yes,
coddled.
they're animals at this
yeah,
point.
Yeah, yeah. It's all instinct.
And
so,
they, it will
did
be
you do
fine.
that with your second one?
I did. He did not take to it as quickly, but also
But took to it.
took to it. And him, I honestly, I wasn't as strict with him. I did kind of like mess with it a little bit, which my husband was like, "You're doing it wrong," and I'm like, "Well, but this is a different kid," and so it wasn't.
Yeah.
I had to make adjustments, but we definitely let him cry it out, like, and he did it, and he's also a great sleeper. We can take them anywhere.
Man, I know. I suffer. See, we couldn't.
But
I would hear her go, and I'd run in there like, and we still, until she was 2.5, maybe, we would rock her to sleep. She had a nice, yummy
see?
rocker in her room, and we would take turns. And there were
couldn't.
times it took 2 and 3 hours.
I couldn't.
And we would take turns. It would be 11 at night, and he's like, my husband would be like, "I'm tapped out. Your turn." And we would switch, and he'd go to bed, and I'd keep rocking her to
I
sleep.
know many parents that
Yeah.
do this, and I always feel really badly because I'm like, if you just let them cry a little bit, you can have your life back.
Well, yes, and I have several friends and nieces and nephews and stuff that have had babies, and they're like, "Oh no, he goes down at 7:30 until 7:30 next day." I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, so you have the whole night to yourself
Yes.
to like watch TV?
Yes,
we,
when I
we
tell
didn't
you-
have that because we just didn't do it, and both of us were like softies for that. We're like, no, I can't hear her cry.
I get it. I know it's not for everybody, but I will say there are definite benefits. And I hate when I hear people be like, "Oh, you're scarring them for life," and they have all of this like pent up trauma
Please,
that
no.
shows up later. Like, listen, bitches, my kids are so good.
Yeah.
Like, they are so
It's
fine.
not trauma. I mean,
It sucks.
that's a heavy word to use for something like that.
Well,
It's trauma
you
for
should
you
see-
because you're suffering listening to them.
You
But
should
they're
see.
fine.
Yeah, it's trauma for me. I'll never forget it. I remember everything about that night.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm scarred.
Yeah.
But he learned a skill because that's the other thing I kept telling myself. And actually, my brother said this to me because I called him the next day and I was like crying to him and telling him how horrible it was. And he was like, "Natalia, I hear you, but you're teaching him a skill. Like, just remind yourself, you're teaching him a skill. Sleep is not something that comes naturally. Like, it's a skill to sleep overnight." And I was like, "You're right." So the next day I just kept saying, "I'm teaching him a skill. I'm teaching him a skill. I'm teaching him a skill." And it was helpful. Anyway, fuck you people that are judging me. I know some of you are like, 2.5 hours?
Yeah.
What a crazy bitch. Yes.
Yeah, it's okay.
But again, my
That's-
kids are beautiful
My
and they're
sister
so fine.
did it too with her girls, and
Yeah.
and they were able to have a
And
life as well. And
look how lovely they are.
and I think, and I'm always like high fiving. I'm like, good for you. I'm envious, and I'm, what's the word? Not proud, whatever, that people can do it. I
Do whatever you want, but I'm just saying, like, I don't like the judgment that the cry it out moms get. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How about kids should not be bored? We shouldn't let our kids be bored. Like, we need to be keeping them
boredom-
constantly entertained.
No, boredom creates imagination. It feeds all of that. You need to learn how to fill your time. Now, unfortunately, they have all of the electronics and the iPads, and it's hard to take it away. And then now, especially since schools put all their shit on an iPad, you can't even take their iPad.
I can't tell you
Can't hate
how.
it. My daughter was in the in-between stage, and she missed her book. She's like, "I'd rather have the book. I like highlighting and
Yes.
taking notes. The minute you write something down, that's how
it encodes more deeply.
I can't even read, honestly. I've bought it and I have it on a Kindle. I have the iBooks. I still would rather have a physical book. Something about the screen,
Yes.
everything is screen time. It's like, oh my God. So,
well, we are working
Yeah.
on kind of reducing screen time in our house, but it's really not a helpful partnership with the school because they have to do app-based work. And I'm like, well, guys, I'm trying to keep this iPad away from him, and he's not supposed to have it during the week, but he's got to do this homework during the week. It's very
and
annoying.
when you take their phone, then they have a way to get an app on the iPad. This was like junior high, I still call it middle school. You know, they have that back when they had apps that they could text and whatever. And it's like, what good is it for me to take away something to punish or whatever if
now I got to give it back. Well, boredom is very, very important actually for your brain and cognitive function for reasons that you mentioned. And by the way, guys, it's not just good for children, it's good for adults. We need to be bored.
Coloring. Give them a coloring book. That's our favorite.
Have
I
we
do it at
talked
night
about-
still. And my daughter has a million coloring books at 24 and she spends her time in her room, doesn't even hang out with us. She's like,
Have we
coloring.
talked about our adult coloring book? So again, inspired by Emily.
Yeah.
Emily,
And canvas painting.
you're-
Where I'm paint by numbers fanatic now, and we have a million. And I have my acrylic markers that draw like paint.
Yes, I have
and
those.
I take it to my room and I sit in bed with my big
That's what I do.
canvas and
So
I paint.
I have my, I bought a coloring book for adults inspired by Emily and Maya, my cousins, and it is the most relaxing thing. I
you
turn
look forward
on
to it.
It's so decompressing. It's like you're not thinking about anything. You're just, and you get to be creative in your color choices. And I so recommend it. And the guys, when I tell you, like, there's a lot of cognitive science I'm not going to get into, but trust me when I say that your brain needs to be bored. It needs to not be engaged in something.
It needs to rest.
It needs to rest.
and that's
when
the
you're
problem with sleeping with the television on.
Oh, and among other reasons.
Among
yes.
other reasons. But, you know, while the TV is on, your brain never quiets down and you don't get restful sleep. You might think you're asleep, but your brain is still listening to the television. And if your kids fall asleep with it, that's one of the battles we've kind of constantly had here throughout our lives, because my husband has always been someone that needs to sleep with the television.
Oh, mine too.
And I'm not. I want it dark, quiet, and cold.
Samesies.
So it used to be the eye mask and the earplugs. And so we've kind of found a balance now. He can fall asleep because there are times. So I put on like spa music or something. So at least
White
there's
noise is good.
Yeah, we've done that. But the spa music is nice because there's no words. There's no. It's just spa music. 2 seconds. You know, falls
Out.
asleep. But it's taken a minute.
Well, all right, let's do a little rapid fire because I feel like we are running out of time here.
Yeah.
Let's do quick,
Okay.
easy. What do you do if your kid lies to you about something small? What would you do?
And I bust them on it. Like
Yeah, what would you do if your kid lied to you about something small?
let them know that I know that they lied and that even though this wasn't a major thing, if I catch you in it, you know, there's going to be a consequence. This time I'll let it go. Like a little lie, whatever. Why did you do it? Why wouldn't you tell me the truth?
Yeah.
You know, that type of thing. So you know what? If you get in that habit, the lies are going to get bigger and the consequence is going to get bigger. So let's not do that.
For real.
That's what I
Now-
would say. What would you say?
Oh, well, I'll tell you what I've done. I guilt them into being like, I'm never going to trust you. Do you know what's going to happen if I don't trust you?
Oh,
No, I
you
do.
ain't going anywhere.
No, but I talk a lot about the importance of trust and how
Right.
if I can't trust them, that's going to
Yeah.
be like a
a problem. Yeah.
That's going to be a real
Because
problem.
your privileges are going to be minimal.
Yeah. And
Right.
like, so
I get it.
we talk a lot about trust. So I don't know if it was something small that I would actually issue like a straight up punishment, but
Disappointment. They really don't like.
They don't like to be-
Yeah, they don't like when you tell them
Yeah.
I'm disappointed. I expected better.
well,
Like, I
you know
thought
what
I
else?
taught you better.
I also kind of say like, you should be really disappointed in yourself because I feel like you really value being like a good, like a honest and like that's important to you and you didn't honor that. So I bet that doesn't feel so good.
Yeah.
And then he'll be like, yeah, I guess not.
But am I in trouble?
Okay. Yeah, that's really good. Okay. What do you do when your kid hits another kid?
I've never had that happen, so I don't know. But if they hit another kid, I'd like, what'd they do? Did they deserve it?
Let me at 'em.
That's where I go. I had a situation, but that'll be another day.
I feel like I have a tendency, and this is maybe not great, but my tendency is not to, if my kid hit someone, I wouldn't think, well, what did that other kid do? I'd be so like, how could you hit another kid? Like I would immediately kind of like be ready to be upset that they did that versus, oh, someone must have fucked with him and be like, hate that other kid.
I mean,
I'm very
if you
quick
know
to be
your
like,
kid, well, the thing is that if you know your kid and your kid's not an aggressive child, or your kid
Yeah,
is
that's
not,
true.
you know, then I'm thinking my kid would. This is the first time, like, that's not in their normal behavior pattern. They don't act out. They don't hit other things or aggressively act out. So
Yeah.
why would they? Was this person or was this other child bullying them like over and over, that the kid just said fuck this and that's it, I'm done? Did they shove them first or hit them first? You know, I don't know. I have to dive into that one and find out. Like,
Yeah,
and
I
just
mean-
say, listen, you can't hit, but if you got hit first, hit back. I'm not. No.
Yeah. So my husband and I have this conversation all the time, because I'm like, if someone hits you, you like go tell an authority figure, like, and he's like, no te dejes, like, you hit him back.
You hit him right,
And,
and he ain't doing that again. I'll tell you what.
That's probably the right answer. But this is why I'm saying I'm so big on like rules and like authority and whatnot,
Sometimes
that I'm like,
I should just know.
I know.
In real life, sometimes it just falls by the
I
wayside.
know.
Listen, you push me, guess what? I'm gonna push you back and harder, and you might lose a tooth or two.
Hey, all right. Your kid wants to quit something hard.
Yeah, I've had that happen.
Me too.
And you hope and you give the speech about how quitting is not appropriate, and you've started something, you need to finish it.
Yeah.
We've had that, and we made her do that sometimes, and there were things, you know, and I get it. I was a little disappointed at times when, like, she didn't want to do something, and my husband would say, we're teaching her to quit, you know, she's got to see things through, she's got to follow through,
Yeah.
you can't start something. So when that happened, we'd say, listen, and then before she'd want to start something new, I'd say, okay.
You have to close this other out, like close this thing out.
If we're starting this,
Oh,
you're finishing it. I'm letting you know from the beginning, there's no quitting. I don't care how hard it gets. I don't care if you get bored, if you don't like it. You're staying till
And
the
did
end.
you stick with
think
it?
about it before we invest, before we start taking you, before all of that. Make sure you really want to do it, because we're not letting you out of it. And then that really helped.
okay.
Letting them know that ahead of time.
Yeah. That's a good
If you
strategy.
see that pattern being established, that they
Yeah.
start or quit, by the second one, you're like, okay,
Yeah.
So then the next time I say, I want to do this. I want lessons in this. Okay, before I buy the guitar, before I buy the
Yeah.
DJ thing, before I do, this is how much it costs. This is what we have to invest. I have to take you. It's once a week. It's 8 lessons. 8. I don't care if there's a party. I don't care if there's
Yeah.
You're going. So make sure that you're okay. And usually it's like, okay, let me think about it. You do that.
Well, that's good. That's good that you made her
So,
think.
yeah.
I've only had one instance where my son wanted to quit. He was Taekwondo. He didn't like it. And I told him, I had the whole speech with him about quitting. I had the whole speech about, like, yeah, it's just hard now, but it'll, like, blah, 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 blah. So eventually I did say, okay, you can only quit when you get to your next belt. Like, after you pass your next belt test.
Okay.
Then you can quit. And it took him forever because he put no effort into it because he hated it. And he kept being like, but I want to quit. I'm like, well, I told you what the cutoff point was. When you get this belt, and it was a yellow belt, okay? He didn't make it that far. He got a white belt. No, they give you that one for free when you start. A high white and a yellow. So he didn't get that far. But I was like, when you get this, then you're allowed to quit.
Okay.
I did not let him just stop
Right.
willy-nilly.
Yeah,
so
make him work a little bit for
Yeah.
something.
All right. Your kid swears in public.
Yeah.
My kid's done this. He said, what did he say? Like something about effing jerk or effing something. And I'm like,
Mine didn't really swear in public.
He heard that on TV.
She answered back, I think once or twice, and I popped her in the mouth with her braces.
This
She didn't think I
happened?
would, and she was like shocked. I go, do it again. Say it again.
okay, so this didn't happen. This happened
That was in
semi
that
in
testy
public.
period.
Yeah, the aforementioned.
Yeah.
So my kid, just a couple weeks ago, we had friends over. There were people at the house,
And there's
then
my other children.
Those are our
My
friends at
Barky,
this
our
house.
four-legged, yeah.
And he was kind of in a bad mood because he had wanted something, and I said no, and so he was like getting all like pissy about it. And then
Is this Oliver?
this is Oliver,
Okay.
my oldest. And then my husband said something to him, and he said, "Shut up."
Oh,
Girl.
that's never been said here. And I think my daughter would run away. If she, even to this day, if she said shut up, that's just
He
not said
said,
here.
"Shut up." and now Juan didn't hear him. I heard him.
I'm feeling like, no.
When I tell you that, like, I channeled my father, that, like,
oh,
like,
Lord, the
because
booming voice and the
I
red
was just
face.
like, does this kid think he's allowed to say shut up to his father in our home.
Like your phone conversation?
Yes, exactly. And it was like repeating the cycle. But I mean, I didn't do it quite. But I mean, that's not okay. Like,
what did you do?
So
did you lose your shit?
Well, I didn't. There were people there, so I couldn't, like, I don't know what I would have done if there were no people. But I think I probably handled it the same way. I just said, "Excuse me? What did you say? Like, repeat it. What did you say?" And he just kind of like stayed quiet, like, "I'm not saying this shit again." Like, hell no.
Didn't I say that under my breath? I didn't know you heard it.
He had something, and he had like a snack or something. So I was like, "Give me that snack. Go straight to your room. I don't even want to look at you right now. That is not acceptable. To your room right now." So he went to his room and he stayed there for I don't know how long, because I was with my friend, so I kind of forgot about him for a little while.
Is he alive? Sleep trained. He's sleep trained. Don't worry about it. He can go 12 hours with nothing to eat. He's fine.
And no, eventually we talked about it. We talked about how like that disrespect is not okay. And he also, and this is my own fault. You guys may have noticed, I tend to use a lot of bad language. Yeah. I drop F-bombs.
Okay,
I use a lot of bad words. He has never mimicked that, but now he's sometimes like saying like, "What the hell?" and like,
that's the age too. They're entering,
and then he'll be like
preteen.
He'll be like, "What the f?" And I'm like, no, we're not doing that here. Like, they're not in my home. You're not disrespecting my home. Only I disrespect my home.
Do whatever you want when you're not in my presence, but in here, keep it clean.
So we have to have those conversations. And then he has had times where he has kind of said that in public, and I'm like so embarrassed, because I'm just like, I don't want them to think I'm that kind of parent. You know what I mean? Because everyone's judging, just like we've been sitting here judging for an hour.
But then you say to yourself, and who are they?
And who are they?
In this situation, I'll never see you again. Judge all you want. Whatever.
All right. So maybe we've come to the end of our...
Is there any other...
There's a couple other ones, like what would you do... and I don't know if you had to deal with this, but like if your kid wants social media at a young age.
Yeah. And, I let them have it, I think.
Hard no.
I think at 13 or 14. Like once she got to like...
too young.
Too young. It was still like, it wasn't as toxic as it is now. Remember, this was 10 or 12 years ago. So it was still, Instagram, I don't even think existed. Or it was just starting.
So
it wasn't.
I tell my kid all the time.
We talk about it now. And even a couple of years back, maybe 3 or 4 years back, I was saying, this is toxic. And there's reports and, the bullying and the self-image and the this. That's all bullshit. Now,
currently, there is a trial going on in Los Angeles that is a lawsuit against Mark Zuckerberg and Meta, which is brought by a girl who says she became addicted to social media at a young age, and that it caused all sorts of issues, body image issues, anxiety, depression, all sorts of things. So what's interesting about this is there are actually 1,600 pending cases that are of a similar nature, and I'm very curious to see what the outcomes of these cases are, because depending on the verdict of maybe this case and some others, it could really restructure and reshape how social media functions, especially as it relates to young people. And I personally really welcome that, because kids,
it's so toxic.
Kids at that age, their brains are really molding and shaping, and what gets imprinted at that age is very difficult to undo. And we know the dangers and that are caused by social media.
There was no social media when I was a kid, and they didn't call it bullying. Then later it got, but you got made fun of. People picked on you. You got not picked. You got picked.
But you got to come home, and it ended.
And
this is ongoing.
No, I know.
And public,
and there's no break from it. It's accessible all the time.
Exactly.
And these kids take it in, and their self-esteem and whatever. I mean, you have that without social media.
Yeah.
They have their social parameters where you have the cool kids and the this kids, and even without social media, they're gonna encounter good or bad. Add to this that they never get a break from it. You can't just turn it off. It's accessible all the time. It's horrible.
No, my kid wants social media, and I'm like, go fuck off. Absolutely not. You're not getting it. And by the way, you're also not getting a smartphone. That's the other thing that he's like, when can I get a phone? I'm like,
when you're 18.
You'll be getting a flip phone when you start driving a car or something like that. Then you'll get a flip phone. And he's already, years in advance, like, he starts sometimes crying, like, I'm going to be the only one.
You are. Like, and you're going to be the only normal one.
Yeah, I'm like, that's great. I don't give a shit with that. Like, and I find myself channeling those very, like, I don't like those other kids don't live in my house, and like, if all the kids were jumping off a bridge,
of course,
all those.
But you also want to say, what is it you want to do on social media? What is it you think you're missing?
You know what they want.
No, but you ask them to verbalize it and make them say it.
Well, it's dumb shit. All right, let's do our adult deck. We gotta go.
I gotta go.
You pick it quick.
All right.
Quick. Anna's standing up. She's like, get off.
Okay. What's the most romantic thing someone has done for you? We know it's not a surprise party.
Oh, not a surprise party.
That was
the
funny.
most romantic thing? Babe, I'm sorry. He's very romantic, but I can't remember any of them right now. I don't know.
I know, right? That's tough. You got to think back. Okay, you want to skip the question?
I mean, we've been together so long, I can't
There's A and B, so let's do a B.
Okay.
What do you appreciate as an adult that you didn't appreciate as a kid?
Oh man, sleep, free time, just the ability to do nothing. Didn't appreciate that enough. Didn't appreciate this body enough. Let me tell you something. Not that I'm full of myself. My body was banging when I was young, and I kept thinking like, "Oh, this is ugly. Oh, look at that." Did not appreciate that in the way that I should have. Collagen, didn't appreciate collagen.
Oh, please, all of it. Skincare. I didn't appreciate.
None of that.
I started skincare like maybe 10 years ago, maybe.
And I don't know. I think
I like the responsibility free, the carefree life. Like, homework was like the biggest thing, or what party you weren't invited to, or what boy you. Like, it was so simple. You thought everything was so
serious,
catastrophic, and so like, oh my God. Take me back.
Take me back.
Things are okay now, but you get used to responsibility and whatever, and you navigate life. But
there's such a luxury
the simplicity of
to having.
I'm gonna go pick you up on my bike, and I'm gonna tow you on my handlebars all the way home, and we're gonna go get ices at the.
But connecting this back to the parenting, just to really close the loop on this, I think once you have a kid, you will never be worry free again.
Never.
There's never going to be a moment where you're not thinking about something else, a responsibility that feels scary. And before that happens, when you're only responsible for you and you can just do nothing and there's not a worry in the world.
It's a Sunday, and even if you're married or whatever, and you're like,
no, you're just sitting in front of the couch.
Pajamas, let's order KFC, watch movies all day, and do nothing. Even with a newborn, it's feeding time.
If you're in that stage of life,
God bless you. Enjoy
please
it.
Savor it.
And it's wonderful. And the other stages are great too. But that stage of carefreeness is
delish.
It is.
All right, friends, we have come to the end of the road. Listen, if you are upset with any of our opinions on parenting, if we said some shit about you as a parent, start your own podcast.
It wasn't personal.
It wasn't
general.
Personal. Yeah, and you can start your own podcast and talk shit about me. I don't care. And if you have any thoughts, comments, anything that you want to share with us, please do on our socials. You could also email us, ask us at tmifyipodcast.com.
That's it.
And we will see you all next week. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Have a great weekend.
Ciao.